Well, hello there. This video is inspired by my recent reaction to White Riot by The Clash. And with so much feedback, I couldn't resist diving deeper into the event that inspired the song and generations following. But before we get into the lyrics, I want you to imagine for a second. It's bank holiday, Monday 30th, August 1976. Notting Hill Carnival is in full swing. Sound systems, dancing, Caribbean London fully alive in the streets. Then a police confrontation breaks out near Acklam Road under the Westway. An arrest attempt turns confrontational. More officers pile in. Truncheons come out. Within minutes, the streets tip from celebration into chaos. By the evening, parts of the Portobello Road are sealed off. Police are charging the crowds, and officers are literally using plastic dustbin lids as riot shields. And that's the world White Riot was written from.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No intro, no warning. And just like the riot itself, things don't escalate slowly, they snap. A normal street and a sudden confrontation, the counting feels less like music and more like a siren going off. Before anything else, let's kill the most common misleading right here. This wasn't a call for white people to riot against blacks. That interpretation misses the entire point. From interviews, we can surmise that what Strummer is saying is, I just watched the community push so hard that resistance became unavoidable. So where is that same refusal among white working class youth who are also being crushed? A riot of my own doesn't mean refusing violence. It means refusing passivity. This line is observational, not celebratory. It's recognizing a threshold, the point where pressure stops producing patience and starts producing resistance. That's exactly what happened at Carnival. An arrest, perceived injustice, force used, and suddenly the rules everyone pretend to live by collapse. The lyrics aren't saying that violence is a good thing. They're saying that violence appears when people feel backed into a corner. This is Strummer turning the camera back on his own side. He's talking about conditioning, about institutions that teach obedience, patience, and acceptance, even when acceptance means being quietly mistreated. In the context of 1976, the contrast hits hard. One group already expects the system to treat them as if they're suspects. Another still believes compliance will eventually be rewarded. This line isn't polite. It's meant to sting. Now, this is the real engine of the song. Fear. Fear of arrest. Fear of punishment. Fear of stepping out of line. At Carnival, that fear breaks. Because people see police force and decide they're no longer absorbing it quietly. So the lyrics almost become an accusation. Because if fear is the only thing keeping you compliant, how free are you really? How free are we? Now the chorus lands differently. It's not a slogan, it's a dare. Not riots for chaos, but if injustice is obvious and you still do nothing, what does that make you? Cultural bridge. Why this matters beyond punk. People like Don Letts, who moved between black sound system culture and the punk scene, were clear about this later. What exploded at Carnival wasn't racial hatred. It was a moral line being crossed. Right versus wrong. Power versus people. Control versus dignity. That's the atmosphere the Clash was breathing when this song was written. All the power in the hands of the people rich enough to buy it. To zoom out, the riot isn't just about police on the street. It's about a system where power is purchased, not shared. Carnival pretty much becomes symbolic. Who owns public space? Who gets to celebrate freely? And who gets policed for existing? This is Strummer indicting his own community. We complain, we posture, we analyze. But when actions have consequences, we freeze. That line only makes sense if you remember that in the 1960s and 70s, people didn't freeze. They pushed back hard enough to shut down the streets. Even here in the US, we had countless protests, riots, violence spreading throughout. Black and white voices both putting their lives on the line for the greater good. And with the final chorus, are you taking over or are you taking control? This is the blade at the end of the song. By now, the riot isn't even about the street anymore. It's a metaphor. A riot against silence, a riot against obedience, a riot against the idea that suffering is acceptable as long as it's quiet. In closing, the 1976 Notting Hill clashes weren't just violence at a festival. They were a collision between community and state control. And White Riot turns that collision into a question that still hasn't gone away today. If others are being crushed so hard they're being forced into open resistance, and you're being crushed too, your silence isn't neutrality, it's compliance. And it's your boy Nubis Devante of Luminous Frequencies. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Peace, love, and light equals life. And I'll be sure to see you in the next one. Peace.